Covering music-related content of all genres. If it filters through Eastern Texas, it's fair game. Y'all bring it. From Texarkana down to the coast and Dallas down to Houston and everything in between. We are ETX ROCKS! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new episode of the ETX ROCKS Show with yours truly, Boston Chris. Guys, we're super excited. We have Bibeau here. Bibeau has been hailed as prog metal's new breed, and they've wowed audiences with their skill, their advanced technical abilities, coupled with their intense delivery and the sheer strength of their original material. With their new spin on prog metal, we'll talk more about that. Bibeau is most certainly pushing the boundaries of music. Forged with a firm grasp of the lineage, spirit, and history of the music they adore, Bibeau is comprised of Drew Theron, I hope I got that right, on vocals, guitarist Robin Bibeau and Alan Bennick Hernandez, bassist Chris Ray, and of course drummer Peyton Bibeau, who can't be with us today, but he's a huge component of the band as well. So you guys are actually going to do us an original song or two, and we're really excited because I understand this is the first time you guys have ever performed unplugged.
Oh yeah.
So that is super exciting. So one of y'all, or all of y'all, tell us a little bit about the song you want to perform.
What's the first one we're gonna do, fellas?
We're gonna do Leeway first.
Leeway? Man, Leeway. Robbie, you probably remember a little more about how that came about.
Well, it's funny. Like I came up with the first riff. It's a little hybrid picking thing. It's funny. I came up with it. I was learning little hybrid picking exercises. It was like I forgot how it. It was just not a C chord. It was like that, just up, and then going to G7. And then it was funny. I was just like practicing that like one night, just like all night, and then I just started fooling around with it, and I came up with that first little riff that, and then it kind of grew from there, and everyone kind of added their own little ideas to the mix, and it grew into something really great. And then Drew had some really cool lyrics and vocal parts he added over it.
So everybody kind of contributes to the creativity of the band.
Yeah, definitely. Like it usually starts like one of us will bring kind of an idea, and we'll kind of add on to it, or sometimes even we'll have something where it's like we think it's finished. Like I'll bring something, or Drew or Alan or Chris or anyone will bring something, and we're like, oh, it's kind of like a finished product, and then by the end, when we've all worked on it, it's like completely different.
Yeah, I think the song Leeway has grown more through our live performances than it has, a rehearsal time.
Yeah.
It's just like every show it was just getting better and better. The energy is just what we wanted it to become. We're very comfortable with that song now live.
Awesome. So this is Leeway by Bibeau.
Everybody ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.
right, so that's Bibeau Unplugged. We'll be right back with more from Bibeau right after this.
This is Katie Kennedy, the owner of the Liberty Bell located in historic downtown Nacogdoches. We would like to invite you to come on down for our live music, our extensive menu, including our brunch menu available on the weekends, and excellent service. We're open every day of the week except for Monday. We've got live music every day and drink specials. So we'd love to see you in Nacogdoches. Come on down, tell them Katie sent you.
All right, so we are back at the Red House with prog metal's new breed, Bibeau in the house. We have 4 of the 5 members. Peyton couldn't be here today. He had a prior engagement. Of course, he's a drummer, so he could be on his way, and we just wouldn't know because they're always late. You know how drummers are, right? They're always late. I got to throw the drummer under the bus. Always.
That's true.
It really is. So, man, you know, Robin, you were saying before y'all played how that just kind of started with that little lick that you had, and I can kind of definitely see how what you meant by it just kind of built off of that. And that lick is very catchy. So, I mean, how with that particular song, was it just for the rest of you guys? Did you just kind of hear that lick and just add your own components in, or as a group? Is that how you write?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, someone just comes into the part and someone will lay something else on top of that, and we'll kind of play with it and make it sound good together until everyone's got everything in.
So it's almost like Bibeau is just 5 equal parts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
it's not just Bibeau. It's the whole of the parts that make it special.
Right.
You know.
Right, and I mean that's always a really important part of music, I think, too, is to kind of set your egos aside and know that you're all pulling the rope the same direction.
Yeah.
So I'd like for you guys to introduce yourselves. Tell us where you're from, how old you are, and what your name is.
All right. I'm Drew Thering. I'm from White House, Texas. I was born there, raised there. Probably gonna die there. I don't know. We'll see. But 22, and been playing music. Been on the scene for about 10 years now. Started playing when I was 13, drumming. A band called Rock Bottom, and it has led up us to this point with Bibeau, trying to do some total world domination stuff. Spread some good music and love throughout the whole entire, wherever the heck we can reach. Yeah.
And your vocals, right? Lead vocals.
Yeah, I sing for Bibeau. Yep.
My name is Alan Benek Hernandez. Store decided to drop me Ryan and Tyler, man, out of any other place, but it's really cool how just things fall into place, how I met everybody here in the band. Just being, as active as I can in the music scene here in Tyler, Texas. Well, in Tyler, Texas. And I've been playing guitar for about 10 years, and live, I would say a little under that, but it's my passion, and that's what pretty much led to meeting everybody here in this band. Just things happen for a reason, and here we are, making some really, really different music, and very refreshing music for everybody, not just the metal community. So, yeah.
I'm Robin. I've been living in White House for like 11 years now, and I play guitar, and I'm 19. It's fun.
Alright, I'm Chris Ray. I live in Mineola right now. I was originally born in Dallas, and I lived in Houston for a while and moved to East Texas about 15 years ago. And that's about when I picked up, guitar and bass. My uncle collects BC Britches exclusively, and I always saw them hanging on his walls in his house, and I saw a bass one day, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. And ever since then, I've been into bass, and I just like the heavy low sound that they get. And I'm 27 now, and it's the first band I've been in.
So you're the old man of the band.
Yeah.
Well, I'm 27 as well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, me and
So
Alan
you're
are
both
the
old
same
men
age.
in the
Yeah.
band. And Wood County represented as well,
Yeah.
Mineola. That's an area of East Texas that doesn't get a whole lot of love, but there's a plethora of talent in Wood County.
Yeah, we've had a few people from that area make it big time.
Yeah.
It's country artists mostly.
Well, maybe we can change that up.
Yeah.
So I know you guys, I'm reading you guys' biography that I got from Paul, and the influences and who you guys draw inspiration from. The list is crazy. I'm just going to go through the list here. From Rush to Tesseract, Metallica to Dream Theater, Opeth to Tool, Led Zeppelin to Iron Maiden. So is this band wide? Is this all your inspirations, or are we like listing them individually?
That's like scratching the surface, really.
Here's- I'll try and lay it out for you here. All right, so the lightest because we spend a lot of time together, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We play in a band together. We'll be on the road for a long time. You get to figure out what everybody likes musically, and I think the lightest of our interests lies in Peyton. He's like a huge Simon Garfunkel fan. We're always listening to like some Yes or something.
He's
in the
16
back.
and he likes Simon and Garfunkel.
Oh, yeah,
Nothing wrong with
And
that.
nothing wrong with it.
And
I'm proud of it.
In my opinion, Chris has I think Chris has
Yeah.
the heaviest interest. Where you say, well, between the Buried and Me,
Yeah,
that's
between
one of your
Buried
favorites.
and like just others.
Yeah, so it goes from all the way from, Simon and G-Funk, all the way up to like Lamb of God, freaking just like Cannibal Corpse, Black Dahlia Murder,
Beyond Creation.
Parkway Drive, Beyond Creation.
Yeah, two artists you probably will never ever see on the same stage. Simon and Garfunkel and Lamb of God.
But everything falls.
Be a heck of a
everything
show, though.
falls.
Yeah, we've got some we got jazz influences in
Yeah.
some of our songs. We got blues influences, like all sorts of stuff. Like even some classical kind of progressions and stuff we use in some stuff. So it's really like a vast array of musical influences. And
Well, I think what's really great about Bibeau is you guys don't sound like anybody on the planet. I mean, you guys are all your own. I'm sure, I guess you guys are progressive metal, I guess, is how they try to, pigeonhole
That's
you.
the
But I mean, that
closest
really
we can
doesn't even,
describe it.
yeah, it really doesn't even put you on the map that way. But so if someone were to come to you and say, describe what Bibeau is, what would y'all say?
That's always the hardest question because it's like when you say, hey, it doesn't sound like anything, they think you're like full of crap. But it's like, I really can't describe a lot of it. I mean, I can say, oh, there's elements of Rush or Iron Maiden in this song or whatever, but I can't really put one label on it. And that's why it's so hard to describe it to people. So I just say it's good music.
I just think it's deep. It's really deep.
Yeah.
It's not. That we're not trying to sound like anybody at all. We're trying to sound like us. We're trying to make our way. We're not like, it's not annoying or anything when someone comes up and says, "Hey, you guys sound just like Maiden, man," or that song y'all play that sounded just like this or just like that. In all reality, it doesn't.
And we'll get a
We all
lot
have
of
different
different
favorites,
answers on the same songs.
different.
Like, I mean, on Mark This on the single, I heard people say, I heard one guy say it sounds like Rush. I heard one guy say it sounds like Iron Maiden, and then some dude said Motley Crue. I was
Yeah.
like, it's like
That might have been me, actually. Like,
I'll
it
get
could have
On
been.
the vocals, yeah,
Well, yeah, on the vocals.
Yes.
somebody.
Well, that and the 80s style feel of the video. Like
Yeah.
if you
Yeah,
watch
yeah,
the
definitely.
video, it's one of my favorite songs of anybody I know in East Texas. Mark This. You guys check it out on YouTube out there. And I believe you can purchase that also, right?
You can download it for
Yeah, it's
free.
free.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Stream it or
It's called
whatever.
Mark This by Bibeau, Bibeau. Man, it's incredible. But if you guys out there that are listening are into that 80s feel that they had with the videos back then, you guys have got to check out the video. They pay homage. I think it's really the best way of
Scorpions
putting it.
Crew.
Yeah,
I mean, those
exactly.
early videos. I mean, we're going to do at least 2 more videos with Justin Mosley, who did this video. And we love the guy, and we're going to try to do something a little more Stranger Things.
And
you
Justin
know,
Mosley's
next
huge.
one.
I mean, he's got a film coming out, I guess, next year called Devil's Deal.
Devil's Deal. It's out actually right now on Lionsgate right now.
Okay.
You can get it on DVD, and you can download it or Blu-ray. I'm sorry, I'm behind the time on technology, but he's phenomenal.
Yeah, we don't have to spin the
Yeah.
machine anymore.
Get it on VHS or Beta.
Yeah.
Video reminder.
But I think what you're seeing, with the songs, and certainly they'll hear it with that last song. The band is really branching out and trying to. They're it's natural. It's not forced. It's not like we have to be in this tight box and sound a specific way.
Right.
They're really branching out and they're really exploring their own boundaries, and it's exciting because everything they come up with is different from the last. And when you hear Leeway that they just played, and then you hear Mark This, you're like, they sound like you know, two completely different styles, but yet it's still Bibeau, you know.
And do you think because of the way, you know, social media, the advent of social media and YouTube and all that it brings, do you think because of that, you know, that kind of thing can be successful now, whereas in the past everything was always kind of more streamlined?
Well, you know, the interesting thing is the live experience, because they've really grown and we're playing better and better clubs in better markets. We're getting well received. We're going back and doubling our crowds the second time. And what we're finding is that, you know, we're getting a diverse audience. I mean, we're getting metalheads. We're getting a lot of women that are coming out to the shows. A lot of women are coming out to the shows. And, you know, when they play these songs, when you go see a band and they're predominantly doing original material, you tend to get bored.
Right.
But the live material, the original material is coming off really strong. And people are just getting it. And, you know, that's half the battle.
Absolutely.
And I'm pleased where it's going. And who knows? I mean, we just got to keep working on it and refine it. And I think when they hear our record that we're going to do in the first quarter of next year, I think it's going to be exciting, because there's not one song that sounds like the other song on the record. Everything is different.
Right. And you guys out there, the voice you're hearing is Paul Bibeau, episode 18 and 19 out there if you haven't heard it. But you know, he's a musical genius in my opinion. He's been around forever. So you guys, obviously the namesake of the band is kind of like a Eddie Van Halen thing.
Yeah.
So you guys have called it Bibeau. But you guys have this guy in your corner that's got all this experience. So what kind of impact do you think he's had on y'all's style and sound and your overall success as well?
He's been really great. I mean, I'm not sure what technical terms are, but like he promotes us very well and gets us out there. You know, he doesn't really have to. I mean, he just does a good job because he's had experience in the music industry, so he knows some people, and it's a little easier sometimes to get things done because he's had the experience, so he knows what he's doing, and we trust him totally.
Yeah, it definitely helps because it's like I know tons about music and I love playing it, but I don't know anything about promoting shows or booking shows or anything. So it's really helpful because I mean I don't know if our video would have received that many views if it wasn't for his help and just lots of stuff like that. So it's really helpful. I think it's a really good combination with our songs and his knowledge and stuff. So it works really well.
So it just sounds like it's a good team almost.
Yeah.
It's like Uncle Dallas used to say, you know, Drew, you brought his name up. Uncle Dallas used to say playing the music is the easiest part.
Yeah.
And it sounds like Paul has allowed y'all to have that opportunity where all you guys have to do is worry about what you do, and that's play music, write music, perform music, and he takes care of all the nuts and bolts.
At the end of the day, it's all about them. I mean, I don't get in their face. I let them have their creative process. I'll maybe say a thing or two here or there that maybe strikes me as being good or bad, and I'll mention it, but it's their band, and my job is just to create visibility and awareness for them, and I enjoy doing it. I mean, it's great working with them after having a couple of bad experiences with talent in this area. You know, it's nice to work with somebody that listens and accepts your opinion and, you know, says, okay, well, you know what you're talking about. You know, I've worked with bands that, you know, I could tell Alice Cooper what to do or Ronnie James Dio what to do, and then I've worked with talent that, I couldn't even have a conversation with them. Their egos were so overblown that they didn't want to hear it. And, you know, music is about just understanding and listening and being as creative as possible, and my goal is just to open the doors to let that creativity flow through.
Right. So one name I noticed on the biography here, who produced, I guess, your single, Mark this, Luke Garrigus.
Yes.
This guy was brought to my attention earlier this year because he was a finalist for Producer of the Year at the East Texas Music Awards. And he's based, I guess, out of Austin?
Yeah, he's in Georgetown, just north of Austin.
Right. So tell us the kind of effect, tell us more about Luke. I mean, we'd love to hear more about Luke.
He's great. I mean, he's like one of those guys that it's like, you know, there's some guys who you want them to produce something and they just, you give them the money and they do their job and it's good, but they do the bare minimum. But he's like one of those guys who just goes above and beyond, like, and he really like, he's like another member of the band almost. Like when I talked to him, when we were talking about the single and like producing it, I talked to him like over Facebook for a while and just like, I was trying to explain kind of the sound of the production we were kind of going for, and he just understood it. and he was just willing to, experiment and try different stuff and just go way above and beyond to make it sound as best as it could. And he did such a great job mixing it, mastering it. I was like shocked when I heard it. I listened to it like so many times. I was like, this can't really be us. It sounds so good.
he and I were up till 2 a.m. I think we listened to it 100 times straight.
And this was the final mix?
This was the final mix because it was done in Area 52 at our home. And it was the first really good project that we did in the house and really captured it. And the funny thing was, working with Drew now, it's like, our last incarnation with the band, it was an arduous process to record. And with Drew, he just came in and I blinked and he was done. And he was like, "Oh, let me try this."
He did like a warm-up take, and then it was like, "Okay, let's do it for real." And then we did it.
So
Jesus
got faith in
Christ.
the producer. I've worked with Luke. This is the third project I've worked with Luke on. The first being a solo project with Caleb Cannon, who played bass for Days for a long time. The second being when we were in Young C, Caleb and I again. And then the third being here with Bibeau and Mark This. And hopefully that whole album, I hope.
Yeah,
because the man
that's what
is,
we
I
want.
will say, the man is consistent.
Yeah.
Any project I've worked on with has been, it always comes out just phenomenal. That's the word for it, extraordinary. He's an excellent producer. And I think in the future, it's probably going to be a pretty household kind of, the scene came back and Luke Garrigus led the way.
I saw someone on his
talent.
Facebook page, or on his Black Room Studios Facebook page, which is a studio. Someone wrote a review, 5-star review, and I always remember this. It said record with him now before he starts making platinums.
Yeah.
It's so true. He takes production as seriously as we take our musicianship and stuff.
And that's the way it should be.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
It should be, hey, if I'm going to put my name on this, it better be good.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't think a lot of people, especially locally, don't really have that pride in their work.
Yeah.
I think. But we won't go there. So, I've got Alan Bennett Hernandez sitting in front of me. And for those of you who have not heard this man's name, he is, in my opinion, probably the most underrated guitarist in East Texas. You're a magician, man. There's no other way to put it. So, how long have you been playing, man?
This winter is actually 10 years.
So, I mean, you
It will
just
be 10
wake up
years.
and say, "Hey, man, I'm going to be a crazy guitarist." You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, pretty much I that was the mindset, I pretty much gave up the whole athlete thing. I mean, for, our family, it's like soccer,
Right, yeah.
You go for that, and but yeah, it was an immediate obsession. I picked up the guitar, and now I don't really think of it as a guitar. It's like another extension
It's
of
an
myself.
extension of you,
It's
yeah.
just like another limb, pretty much. So, and I'm still continuing trying to get better and learn more. And I'm never satisfied with my playing, but
I'll tell you the truth, man. The first time I ever heard of you, I saw a video on Facebook. And it probably being shared everywhere, and I was really getting tired of seeing this video. And I wasn't clicking on it, but I should have been, because it was unbelievable. And I was like, dude, who is this cat? This was before I met you, Paul, and I think you were with Circus at the time.
yeah,
Yeah, and it was crazy good. So,
Thanks.
as a fivesome, and you guys have that dual guitar approach as well, which
Yeah.
is something that's kind of rare locally as well, I think, especially in the metal genre.
Yeah.
So what do you think that brings to the overall feel of the band, that dual guitar approach?
That's it's so important.
Yeah.
Me and him talk about this all the time. I mean, there's so many times we'll go see a band live. They'll have 2 guitar players. Even I've seen a few with 3 guitar players. They're all playing the same thing, and it bothers me. It's like they were like, "Oh, I want my buddy to come play in the band with me," and that's cool. But it's like there's so much potential. It's such a versatile instrument, and we always try to mix things up and really just expand the boundaries of dual guitar and we always try to do different things with our parts and stuff, unless the part, sometimes the part will call for us to play the same thing, but most of the time we're sitting here thinking, oh, what can we do? And that, it includes harmonies, but sometimes, one of us will play chords, one of us will play melody, sometimes we'll do 2 melodies at the same time. It's really crazy, and it opens up so many options. you know, like you go to solo and you have that guitar underneath, and sometimes when you see a band with only one guitar, you know, they go to solo and all that sound drops out, and it's just really full sounding.
Yeah, I think we've utilized it, you know, pretty well up until now, and you know, we're still expanding from what we started. You know, it's just we'll try like 10 ways to do something, and then 20 other ways to do the same thing, and then you know, it's limitless really with music.
Me and him worked on a riff once for 2 hours, just trying to figure out what we both wanted to do, and it was really complicated. And we were just like, we were just practicing in our practice room, and we were just like sitting there, like, how are we gonna do this? But I swear, it was one riff for like 2 hours, and we finally got it. And it was nice.
So with the age difference between the guitarists, do you feel like you're kind of mentoring him, or I mean, are you teaching each other kind of?
Pretty much.
Yeah,
we're learning from each other. You know,
Yeah.
just because you know different styles, and same thing as a unit, as a band. You know, we musically we have different influences a lot, not just you know a few, but.
Yeah, because I know you're in a jazz band as well.
Yeah, I play with the TJC jazz band, and
Right.
I can't even say enough how much it's opened my eyes to playing guitar, like just the possibilities.
Kind of get that classical side of it.
Yeah. And see, he's just so good. He teaches me stuff a lot with the soloing and all that cool stuff. And then sometimes we'll be playing a riff, and I'll be like, "What chord are you playing?" And he tells me the chord, and I'm like, "Okay, that's a cool chord, but try this." And
then
it
vice
sounds
versa.
cool. Yeah. We have a lot of back and forth with that.
I'll have to say, as the old guy watching it from the outside, you know, when people say dual guitar attack, they think of Molly Hatchet or maybe more modern bands like Iron
Absolutely.
Maiden, and they expect that it's constant dual harmonies.
Yeah.
And that's really not what it is. It's two independent players playing different stuff together and making it one and making it a whole. And I think it's what makes them unique, because dual guitar, I mean, I do expect that people think that, you know, Danny Joe Brown's going to be out there belting the lyrics and, you know, but I think they have a lot of surprises in store for everybody.
And I think what's really great about all of this is you guys are all really young people, but you're filled with strategy. I love that, because you guys, everything that you're telling me is, you know, this is why we did it. We didn't just do it because we were like, hey, let's do it. You guys actually have a thought process in mind when you're doing the things you do. And that's huge when you're so young, especially in this business. I know Paul will agree with that. I mean, that strategy is so important, because especially locally, a lot of people are just going through life with no thought process whatsoever. And their original music comes out cookie cutter, and it becomes, you know, everything that everybody else is doing. But you guys are young and you get it. And, you know, just hearing, especially, you know, Robin, how old are you again?
19.
19, and so many times I've heard just in this interview, this is why we did that. This is why I did that. You know, I commend you, man. That's awesome. So, I mean, you got to be proud, Paul.
I love my boys, and I love these gentlemen too, and their family, and, you know, we've welcomed them into the house, and it's been a great experience. And, you know, I just want to bring out the best in them and help guide them, and, you know, help my influences influence them. And, you know, the world needs great rock and roll bands, and
Absolutely.
you know, they're not there yet, but they're getting there. And I think people will love seeing them live, and I think they'll love the songs, and, you know.
Well, I think
it's better
people
from
will
here.
definitely feel that effect that the brains in this band have on the band, because you guys don't set out to sound different. You just do.
We just. I think it's just a lot of like the sum of all our frustrations with a lot of music, a lot of, you know, local music, a lot of bigger music, that it's just like, okay, we've heard it before, and it's like I think we all kind of want to write stuff that we want to hear, and it's just really natural to us, because it's like, to be different, it's not something you really have to try it. You just have to get rid of, you know, that there's a lot of pressure to want to, okay, this was successful, let's do this. And you have to just kind of break away from that and be like, I don't care if it's successful or not, it's whether or not we like it, and if it's good, I guess.
And that's huge too. You know, hey, we like it. So if we like it, chances are others will too. Because hey, you know, you guys have a huge background of inspiration, from light to hard, and so you guys probably can figure out what people like.
Mm-hmm.
They were playing their first show in Dallas, and the owner of a big club in Dallas came up to me from Deep Ellum and handed me a beer right in front of me from behind, and he goes, "Best band I've heard in here in 10 years." And it meant a lot to me coming from, you know, this person whose club is, you know, very reputable and well known, and you know, it was like, you know, people are getting it.
Yeah.
You know?
So you guys are gonna play us another song, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
play
understand
another
that this is a first time ever performed, so this is a world exclusive right here.
Yeah, the color blue is the title on this one, and it's threw the riff down
And I got to give a lot of credit to Peyton, who's
Yeah.
not here. He had a huge effect on this song. He came up with I mean, it was one of those songs where I had an idea for how it was going to sound, and he completely changed it, but in a good way. It was like, at first I was like, but then I was like, oh, I really like this. So that's cool. And I mean, it's like that with everyone. But yeah, it's gonna be weird performing the song for the first time acoustically, but hopefully.
So for the first time ever, guys, this is The Color Blue by Bibeau.
Color blue.
Unbelievable. That's called The Color Blue, once again by Bibeau. So, we have a new segment. It's been around for about a month. I did not tell you guys about it before. But this is called Rapid Fire. Basically, the concept of this is we're going to ask you guys 10 questions. Some of them are funny, some of them might be gross. It's all PG. And you guys typically will have two answers to pick from. It's kind of a would you rather game. And we have 90 seconds. Y'all have 90 seconds to answer these questions.
Okay.
And there could be a punishment if you guys don't answer in 90 seconds. So, it might be your hair falling out or something like that. So, you guys ready for this? All right. So this is rapid fire with Bibeau. Would you rather have pancakes or waffles?
Pancakes.
Waffles.
Waffles.
All right. Would you rather have overly large hands or really tiny feet?
Tiny feet.
Tiny
Really
feet.
large
Large
hands.
hands.
Did you say
Wait,
tiny
no,
feet?
large. Wait, what was the question?
Overly large hands or tiny feet?
So, I'd rather have large hands.
Well, yeah, you're a
I thought it
guitarist,
was
so it's like, what is he doing?
I was like, I thought it was small hands or small feet at first. It's too much pressure.
All right, would you rather live one life for 1,000 years or 10 lives for 100 years each?
One life.
One
10
life.
lives, 100 years each.
All right, if you could listen to one song for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh God, we're gonna be here all night.
The Low Spark of High Heeled Boys by Traffic.
Shine On You Crazy Diamond, parts 1 and 2.
Cygnus X1 Book 2 by Rush Hemispheres.
Antonio Vivaldi's Concerto for Two Violins in A minor.
Wow! Okay. All right, so would you rather have a large 10-inch long belly button that swayed every time you heard music, or would you rather have accordions for legs?
I'd say the accordion.
I'll take the
I'd say the
accordion.
belly button. I could
I
probably
couldn't play
use that
guitar
for
with a
something.
belly button.
It'd be fun to
I could
walk.
probably use that for something. We could get kinky.
Yeah, that is true. Would you rather give bad advice or receive bad advice?
Give bad advice.
Rather give it.
Give bad advice.
Well, do you have to listen to it if you receive it, or do you just receive it?
I don't know. I didn't create
I'll receive it. You don't have to process
I'll
it.
receive it and let it go right at the other. You're like,
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. All right. Would you rather have Oreos or Chips Ahoy?
Chips Ahoy.
Chips Ahoy.
Chips Ahoy.
I think Oreos. It's hard though.
All right. So would you rather know it all or have it all?
No, it all.
No, it all.
Rather know it all.
Oh man, that's a lot to know, man. Know it all.
All right. Would you rather love and not be loved back, or be loved but never loved?
Love and not be loved.
Oh man.
Yeah, love and never be loved.
No, the second.
You'd rather be loved but never loved.
Yeah, that would hurt too bad.
That is
First
true.
one.
Yeah.
All right. Last one. Would you rather eat 50 pounds of cheese in one sitting, or a bucket of peanut butter without water?
Bucket of peanut butter. I don't eat
Peanut
cheese.
butter.
So.
You're French.
Drew, you have an answer for that one?
Man.
Cheese or peanut butter, man?
Oh, dude. Peanut butter, you get yoked.
All right, so I think they made it. They all have hair still. That was rapid fire with Bibeau. So tell us where people can find you guys on social media and wherever else.
Facebook.com/Bibeau
YouTube.
the band, YouTube, Bibeau on YouTube.
We're all on,
Bibeau on YouTube.
Yeah.
we're on all the
Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify.
Bibeau
Pretty
Band,
much
BibeauBand.com.
Anywhere
We got
you can
Twitter.
stream music or download music
Don't we have a tweet?
legally, it's there.
Twitter is
Yeah,
doing
there's
really good. It's
Twitter.
Bibeau the Band.
Instagram also.
Yes, Bibeau the Band.
Just
Do
don't
we have a
Man.
Snapchat
I
too?
We
never
do.
found.
We
Bibeau.
do have a Snapchat.
I
also.
never found anything on Pinterest. Nobody's posted any.
I'm on Pinterest, but
Paul Bibeau is on
I'm
Pinterest still.
on Pinterest too. There's some cool stuff on there.
there is, man.
Go
A
look
lot
at
of Randy
guns. I was
Rhodes and
looking
Eddie
at
Van
guns.
Halen stuff
Yeah.
and gotcha
Cars.
and all kinds of stuff.
So Paul, you were saying before we started recording that they had some shows coming up. So let us know where they're going to be playing.
We're playing in November 26th, which this will run after this, so we're playing the Memphis Bar. In,
Can't wait. We're going to be
Long
there.
Beach.
ETX Rocks will be in the house.
We're playing Future Fest at Clicks. This is our first headlining show at Clicks. We're playing with Cutthroat Queens from Oklahoma, Anxiety from Louisiana, Death Row Bodines from Kilgore,
Yes.
and Jet Black Jade from Tyler. That's December 3rd. It's all ages at Clicks.
Nice.
$5 to get in, all ages. And then we're in Zombies. We're playing Lawton, Oklahoma on Saturday the 10th at Sticks Place. Or is that, no, Wichita Falls. And then we're playing Zombies in San Antonio on the 27th, And then a couple of big shows coming up in the new year. We're playing with Ace Frehley at Clicks, opening for him in Enough's Enough. And then our last show that we have on the books until we go in the studio is going to be the 28th of January at Big Jim's Saloon in Arlington, Texas.
And where can people go to book Bibeau?
They can go to the Bibeau page or go to hyperactiveservices.com or Fade to Silence or send me an email on Paul Bibeau, facebook.paulbibeau. And my email is Bibeau, Bibeau 3636 at yahoo.com. And we'll play there. We've been playing all over the place from Philadelphia, Mississippi to San Angelo, Texas, and up into Oklahoma, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and we play everywhere. And, you know.
And they're unbelievable. They've been recognized by the East Texas Music Awards with multiple nominations as well over the last couple of years. They're not going to be here for very long. They will be going strong nationally. They've already gotten the attention of national magazines and radio, both internet and terrestrial. There's a good word.
Yeah.
How about that one, huh? Not bad for a Sunday afternoon, right, guys? So we're really excited about having these guys on the show because we know it probably won't be long where they'll be like, nah, Boston who? So you guys out there, it's been another awesome episode of the ETX ROCKS Show with Boston Chris. We thank you guys so much out there for listening. Remember, you guys, we still have, we just started a YouTube out there. You can find that under the ETX ROCKS Show. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETX ROCKS. We're also on Instagram and Twitter at ETX ROCKS. Guys, remember to keep on supporting local music and
ETX Rocks!
Covering music-related content of all genres. If it filters through Eastern Texas, it's fair game. Y'all bring it. From Texarkana down to the coast and Dallas down to Houston and everything in between, we are ETX ROCKS!